When the Syrian civil war came to light, it has had major effects on the economies of the world.
Here's what you need to know about the war. The Syrian civil war was born from the civil unrest that spread throughout the Middle East during the Arab Spring back in 2011. The regime of President Bashar al-Assad violently repressed protests and calls for democratic reform. In March 2011, soon the protests spiraled into widespread conflict between the forces loyal to Assad and the rebel forces of the Free Syrian Army. The conflict is now in its sixth year and has sparked an ongoing refugee crisis and has been an economic burden on the world.
One major aspect of this conflict has been the spread of Syrian refugees to neighboring countries as well as anywhere that would accept them. As stated in the Georgetown Journal, as of October 2015, the total number of Syrian refugees in Jordan is 630,000. Jordan, a neighboring country, has taken a negative impact from this, and according to the Georgetown Journal, recently has set a world record for the lowest ratio of natives to refugees at a rate of 3-to-1. As well as the Jordan government spending $81.4 million in enrolling Syrian children in public schools, $168 million on basic health services for these refugees, and $62 million to add additional infrastructure to combat the influx of refugees. To put this into perspective, there are 6.5 million Syrians displaced of the 22 million that there are.
Because of the war, the economic effects of the civilian life continues to falter greatly. According to Global Envision, with inflation rising at 57%, the unemployment rate is one of the highest in the world. Because of this, Assad regime spent nearly half of its 2014 budget on price controls in order to balance the inflation rate. Throughout the country, 83% of the areas suffer power outages, and from so much unemployment, jobless Syrians resort to buying or selling stolen goods and food, smuggling other illegal and dangerous pursuits. Another term you can use is black market or the thieves market. 2015 believes that the war will not end anytime soon, so therefore economic rehabilitation isn't an option for them. The United Nations also believe that it will take at least 30 years to recover, but even so, with the lack of education opportunities, there may not be a Syrian labor force trained or large enough to stabilize the economy. What impacts it so greatly is that 4 years ago, the economy was stable and diverse.
The Syrian civil war has had a strong impact on the international community. The tragic nature of this conflict has led to both humanitarian and financial aid coming from many members of the international community. According to the Carnegie Endowment for International Peace, in 2014, the U.S. has offered Syria up to $3 billion in financial aid. As of 2016, $364 million has been sent to Syria. The financial aid is converted to the Syrian pound and helps aid the value of the Syrian currency and combats inflation. As you can see, the Syrian civil war has no end in sight. The economic impact of this terrible conflict cannot be understated. Perhaps the world can learn how to better deal with the social and economic issues war creates.